This is Sarah Mitchell, right? Are you ready for your final interview tomorrow? How's your mental preparation for this?
I'm sorry, who is this? I received your message, but I don't have this number saved on my phone.
What? You don't have this number saved? You've gone through multiple rounds of interviews with us and you don't recognize who this could be?
I apologize, but it's for security reasons. I don't respond to unsaved numbers without verification. Could you please identify yourself before we continue the conversation?
And you still think you're serious about working at our bank? This kind of caution might be good for banking, but it's quite cold, don't you think?
You're from the bank that I've been interviewing with, I assume? I just want to be certain who I'm speaking with.
Of course I'm from the bank. Did you think this was just a random message? I specifically looked up your contact information to help you with the next step.
I appreciate that, but could you please tell me your name and position? It would help me understand the context of this conversation better.
This is Parker. I was one of your interviewers last week. I'm the HR director, so I'll be at your final interview tomorrow, too. We're looking forward to seeing you again. You were quite impressive in the previous rounds.
Oh, I see. I'm sorry I didn't recognize your name and your contact info. I'm looking forward to tomorrow, too. Thank you so much for reaching out.
That's it? Just thank you for reaching out? After I took time from my Sunday evening to text you?
I'm sorry, I don't understand. Was there anything wrong? What do you mean? I genuinely appreciate you checking in on me before the interview.
Do you know how many candidates we're interviewing for this role? How many applications I had to review for this? I chose to reach out to you personally, and all you say is thank you?
I understand this is a competitive position. And I'm grateful for the opportunity to interview again. Was there something specific you wanted to discuss with me about tomorrow?
I reached out to help support you for tomorrow's final interview. I'm being so kind to you, and all I get is a simple thank you? Most candidates would be more enthusiastic about this kind of personal attention from their interviewer.
I apologize if I seemed ungrateful about this. What would be the appropriate way to show my appreciation? I want to make sure I understand your expectations.
You're quite formal in your messages. Almost too formal, if you ask me. We should fix that before tomorrow. The banking industry is all about personal connections.
I see. How would you suggest I adjust my communication style?
Well, for starters, you could be more friendly. You can be more open to building relationships. After all, your future career might depend on it.
I try to maintain professional boundaries with my interviewers, especially during the interview process. I hope you understand.
Professional boundaries, is that what you call it? I'm trying to help you here. Do you know how many candidates would love this kind of personal attention?
I appreciate your interest in helping me succeed. But I'd prefer to focus on the formal interview process. Could you tell me more about what to expect tomorrow?
You're always so proper, so careful with your words. I'm free tomorrow night. I could give you a private interview if you'd like.
A private interview? I'm sorry, I really don't understand what you mean. Could you clarify the purpose of this private interview?
Let's say you make some mistakes in tomorrow's final interview. This would be a follow-up private interview to make up for that. Think of it as insurance. A backup plan. Everyone needs one of those, right?
I see. So that's what you mean. You're suggesting an unofficial interview after hours outside of the office?
Don't make it sound so formal. Just see it as two professionals having a conversation. Just building connections. That's how the real world works. You do want to work in the real world, don't you?
The real world also has professional standards. and ethical guidelines, which I intend to follow no matter which company I interview for.
You sound just like those HR training videos. All rules and no flexibility. Is that really how you want to start your career?
I believe following proper procedures is important, especially in banking. Wouldn't you agree?
That's such a serious response. You're making this more complicated than it needs to be. I'm offering to help you to ensure you get this position. To mentor you. Guide your career so you can be successful.
So you're assuming I'll make mistakes? I appreciate your concern, but that won't be necessary. I plan to be myself and speak honestly during the interview, so please don't worry about that. While I appreciate the offer of follow-up support, I'd prefer to handle things like this on my own.
Handle things on your own? That's quite presumptuous. You think you can succeed in banking alone? Without any support? Without any friends?
I believe in building professional relationships through appropriate channels, during business hours, in professional settings, not outside or after hours.
Pretty bold talk for someone who's about to get rejected for this role. Very bold indeed. Almost arrogant, I'd say.
Is that a threat towards me?
A threat? Why would I threaten you? I told you I'm the HR director, right? I have the final say in all hiring decisions for all the candidates. And are you sure about this? About taking this tone with me?
What exactly do you mean? It feels like you're just trying to pressure me. Are you saying I won't get an offer unless I spend evening hours with you outside of work? I want to be very clear about what's being suggested here.
See, now you're putting words in my mouth. I never said anything about offers or conditions. I can't say that explicitly, but you should think carefully about what this means. All I can say is that your decision now will affect your future career. Not just in our bank, but in the industry. You understand what I'm saying?
That's true of any decision, isn't it? Every choice affects our future somehow. I'm sorry, but I have plans tomorrow evening, and I don't think it's appropriate to meet privately with anyone before officially starting work, so I'll have to decline. I hope you understand my position.
Plans? Unbelievable! You have something more important than your career? Than your future? More important than this opportunity I'm offering you?
I've explained my position already, and my mind will not change. I've told you clearly and professionally. I don't think there's anything more to discuss right now.
Don't blame me for what happens in tomorrow's interview, then. I had no idea you were this unprofessional, this ungrateful, this naive. You're going to regret this, I can promise you that. Mark my words.
I don't understand what you mean by that, but I don't think I've said anything inappropriate to you, so I'll be fine. Thank you for your concern and attention. I look forward to a professional interview tomorrow.
Professional? You keep using that word. I don't think it means what you think it means. A true professional would understand the importance of networking, of building relationships, of taking opportunities when they're offered.
I understand the importance of networking and building relationships, but they should be based on mutual respect and professional boundaries.
Professional boundaries again. You really are something else. We'll see how far those boundaries get you. We'll see indeed. This is beyond unprofessional. Your attitude is very concerning. How did you even make it to the final round of the interview process? You're not listening to what I say. You're rejecting good advice, and you still want to work at our bank?
I'm preparing for tomorrow's interview. I would appreciate some space to focus so I can prepare for it.
Space? You want space? When I'm trying to help you? Are you hiding something? Is there something in your background check I should know about?
Nothing to hide. My qualifications are all in my application. Everything is properly documented for you guys to see.
Properly documented? There's more to success than just documents. Much more. But you don't seem to understand that.
I understand perfectly well. I just disagree with your methods.
My methods? I'm offering you invaluable guidance, industry insights, career advancement opportunities, and you're questioning my methods?
I don't question your position or authority. Just the appropriateness of this conversation, especially at this hour.
This hour? Banking never sleeps. We work all hours of every day. That's what you're signing up for. Or did you think this was a 9-to-5 job?
I understand the demands of the industry, but this isn't about work hours. This is about appropriate professional conduct.
You keep saying appropriate and professional, like some kind of robot. Is that what you think banking is? Following rule books?
I don't understand what you're implying. It's getting late, so I should go. Thank you for contacting me. I really appreciate it. I'm looking forward to tomorrow's interview.
Going so soon? When I'm trying to have a serious discussion about your future? Your career? Is it not important to you?
Yes, I need to rest before the interview tomorrow. I want to be at my best for the interview.
Your best? You've got some nerve coming to our interviews, acting all proper and professional when you're hiding things.
Hiding things? What exactly are you suggesting?
Your background, your family situation. Didn't think that would come up, did you? Didn't think we'd check thoroughly?
My family situation? I don't see how that's relevant to interview for this position.
Of course! Everything is relevant. Everything matters in banking, especially background, especially family. Didn't expect some poor kid from a broken home trying to sneak into our ranks, did you?
Wow, you really went there. Your behavior hasn't been very professional either. Is this how you treat all candidates when they interview with your company?
Don't turn this around on me! What would a college student know about being professional? You're the one being completely unprofessional here, hiding your background, pretending to be something you're not!
I haven't hidden anything about my background. My application is completely honest. There are no lies on it, including my family background.
Honest? As if some bottom feeder from a single-parent household could work at our prestigious bank? You should have mentioned this earlier. Saved everyone's time.
The way you completely changed when you found out I'm from a single-parent home? Is this really how a major bank's HR director should act? Should candidates be judged on family status?
Don't lecture me about judgment. Poor people don't get hired here, period. That's just how it works. I'd love to see your parents' faces when they realize that their kid won't make it. You unprofessional brat.
I'm saving all these messages. All of them. Just so you know.
Save whatever you want. I don't care what you do. No one will believe you. It's your word against mine. And who do you think they'll believe? HR director or some random candidate that happens to get to the final round of the interview process?
Are you aware of how disrespectful you're being? This is beyond inappropriate, but you should really think about what you're doing. Actions have consequences.
Consequences? No bank will hire you! Not after I'm done! Why did you even apply here? What made you think you belonged?
I applied because I'm qualified for this role. My family status doesn't change that.
Qualified? On paper, maybe. But there's more to banking than grades. More to success than test scores. Aren't you ashamed of being poor? Of coming from a broken home?
Your taunting is getting really unprofessional. You seem very confident in your position. Does being an HR director at a major bank give you the right to damage people's reputations? To discriminate based on family status?
Whatever, say what you want, none of it matters to me. You rejected my generous offer, my attempt to help you. At the end of the day, I have the final word to say who gets hired and who gets rejected. This is why I hate poor people. Always playing the victim. You're clearly unprofessional and definitely not getting hired. What a waste of time this has been. Should have checked your background first, before wasting everyone's time.
Are you finished? Or is there more discrimination you'd like to share?
I'd really love to see your parents' faces when they hear about this. When they realize their kid failed. Must be quite something to raise such an unprofessional daughter in such a broken home.
Maybe you should tone down the bullying towards the candidates. You seem to be having fun insulting my father, but you're going to regret this. More than you know.
Regret? No way! I don't want anything to do with poor people anyway, so this worked out. If you'd accepted my invitation, I might have considered you, but I guess that was too complicated for someone so unprofessional. Someone from your background.
You keep using that word, unprofessional. But everything you've done tonight is unprofessional. Everything you've said is inappropriate.
Save your lectures. A troubled family sneaking into our final interviews. Did you think we wouldn't find out? You're rejected. Don't bother showing up tomorrow. I really would love to see your parents' faces. To tell them personally why their kid failed.
Well, if you're so interested in meeting my father...
What's that supposed to mean? Another threat? From someone in your position?
Okay then, I'll just call my dad for you. Since you're so eager to meet him.
Please do! I'd love to explain to him why his daughter isn't cut out for banking. Why she doesn't belong here.
He says he can come see you in about an hour. I'm looking forward to you meeting my father. He's quite interested in this conversation.
What? An hour? Wait, who exactly is your father? What do you mean he's coming?
You wanted to meet him, right? You mentioned it several times in our texts. He's eager to discuss your hiring practices.
Now, hold on a minute. There's no need to escalate this. Let's discuss this professionally, like adults.
Professionally? Now you want to be professional? After everything you've said to me?
Perhaps I was a bit harsh earlier. The stress of hiring season, you understand, right? We could start fresh tomorrow. Forget this conversation ever happened.
It's too late for that. My father's already on his way to come meet you. Particularly interested in your comments about bottom feeders.
Listen, Sarah. I may have spoken out of turn. I said some things I didn't mean. Heat of the moment, you know?
Interesting how your tone has changed. You sound nervous. Is something wrong?
Sarah, could we possibly redo the final interview? I deeply apologize for my previous behavior. I regret my disrespectful comments. Please let me conduct another interview. A proper one this time.
No thanks. I thought I was just a poor kid from a broken home. Why the sudden change of heart?
About that, I was completely out of line. Those comments were unprofessional. Please, let's start over. I'll make it right.
Make it right? After threatening my career? After mocking my family? After trying to force a private meeting?
Why not give me a chance to apologize? I'll make sure you get the job. Just please come back. We can forget this whole thing. Start fresh tomorrow.
No thanks. I have no interest in seeing your face again. You're too disrespectful and unpleasant, and I don't like that calculating look in your eyes, so I don't see any value in meeting again. Besides, my father is very interested in meeting you.
Your father? Who exactly is he? What department does he work in?
Oh, now you want details? Now you're interested in my background?
Please, Sarah, let's be reasonable. Please don't say that. I'll apologize for my bad behavior. Formally, in writing, whatever you want.
I see you've met my father. I introduced him just like you wanted. Satisfied? My father's an executive VP that everyone in the bank knows. Still think I'm a bottom feeder from a troubled home? Do you still want to mock our family status?
Not at all! I had no idea you were Mr. Mitchell's daughter! This is all a terrible misunderstanding. If I had known...
If you had known. So it's only okay to harass candidates if their fathers aren't executives? Is that what you're saying?
No, that's not what I meant! You look pretty pale after meeting my dad. Did he show you the messages?
All of them. Every single one. I just did what you asked and introduced my wonderful father. Hope you now understand just how disrespectful you were. How inappropriate your behavior was.
Please, let me apologize on my knees. I just apologized to Mr. Mitchell, and he immediately said, I'm fired. Of course, I know it's not that simple to fire someone, but this will destroy my position in the company. Could you please talk to your father? Put in a good word. Explain it was all a misunderstanding?
A misunderstanding? Which part? The harassment? The discrimination? The threats?
I was just trying to help you through the hiring process, to mentor promising candidates. Your father must understand that.
Help? By demanding private meetings after hours? By threatening my career? By mocking my family background?
Please, Sarah, think about my position, my career, my family! Please, talk to your father and tell him it was all a misunderstanding.
Oh, now you care about families. Now that it's your family at stake? How ironic.
I can make this right. Just give me a chance. Tell your father it was a joke. A test, maybe. Anything.
No. You made your choices. Now face the consequences. Just like you said, every decision affects our future, right?
No, that's not it at all. Please, let me explain everything. I was just trying to encourage nervous candidates. I had no ulterior motives whatsoever. Your father needs to understand this. Please talk to him.
Really? Then why did you only contact female candidates? Interesting pattern there.
That's not true. I mentor many candidates. All kinds of candidates. This is a huge misunderstanding.
Is that why the other women at today's final interview said they got messages from you too? All with similar generous offers. Similar private meetings. Some pattern that you use, wouldn't you say?
They're lying. This is a conspiracy. They're just trying to cause trouble.
I have their messages also. All the screenshots. And all the timestamps. This isn't the first time you've done this, is it? That's a complete abuse of power. Getting fired is the least of what you deserve. Actually, you might be lucky if firing is all that happens.
What do you mean? What are you saying? What's happening? I can't lose my job over something small like this.
Over this. For us job seekers, this search is our life's battle, our future, our careers. Using our vulnerable position for your own purposes, aren't you the lowest? This isn't just some small thing.
Please, you don't understand. I'm sorry. That was poorly worded. But I really didn't mean it that way. So could you please explain that to your father? It's all a misunderstanding. I can't lose my job over a misunderstanding. I worked so hard to become HR director. 20 years in this industry.
You should have thought about that before. Before the harassment. Before the discrimination. Before preying on your candidates.
I wasn't preying on anyone. I was just networking. I was building relationships. That's just how business works.
Is that what you call it? Threatening all these people's careers? Demanding private meetings outside of the office? Mocking their family backgrounds?
I understand. I apologize. I'm sorry for everything that I've said. You're absolutely right. Sarah, I am truly sorry. If needed, I'll get on my knees right now. Anything you want. Can you forgive me? Please?
This isn't about forgiveness. It's over as far as I'm concerned. The investigation will handle everything else.
Investigation? What investigation? What do you mean it's over? I'm about to lose my entire career over this stupid thing. How can you say it's over? Don't you understand what's at stake?
Your true colors are showing again. What do you mean by stupid thing? I've told you multiple times this isn't stupid to us. To any of the candidates you've harassed. Since you clearly don't get it, I'm done here. Goodbye.
Wait! Another poor choice of words! I'm really sorry. Look, I'll make sure you get hired here, so please just come back for a moment. I want to apologize to you in person and make this right.
I've said multiple times I don't want to see your face again. Besides, whatever you say, I'm already sent to work there anyway. Obviously. Of course I worked hard and made it this far on my own merit, but now that you know I'm Mitchell's daughter, who would dare reject me? I don't need any help from you. I never did.
What? No way! But what? So I'm really getting fired over some text messages?
No, you are getting fired over harassment, over discrimination, over abuse of power, for preying on your candidates. The texts are just evidence that we can use against you.
Please, just give me one more chance. I'll do anything. Change departments. Take a demotion. Anything, please. Just don't fire me.
Yep, that's not my problem. Later, creepy old perv. Reflect on your actions forever. And remember, karma always comes around.
Wait! You can't just leave it like this. At least hear me out. I have a family too. Children to support.
Oh, now you want to talk about family? After mocking mine and saying terrible things to me? After using family status to discriminate?
Please, I'm begging you. Just give me 5 minutes. Face to face. Let me explain everything, please.
You've explained enough already. Through all these messages. Every threat. every insult, every attempt at coercion. There's no need for further conversation.
Those messages were a mistake. I wasn't thinking clearly. The pressure of hiring season, the stress of the job.
Interesting. So stress makes you harass candidates? Pressure makes you discriminate? Is that your defense?
No, that's not what I meant. I'm a good person. Ask anyone in the industry. 20 years of service, perfect record.
Perfect record? The other candidates might disagree. The ones you've been messaging. The ones you've been threatening. The ones you've been meeting privately.
Those were professional meetings. Mentoring sessions. Career guidance. Nothing inappropriate.
Save it for the investigation. I'm sure they'll be very interested in your mentoring methods, in your expense reports, in your message history.
Please, I'll do anything. Name your price, whatever you want.
And now trying to bribe me because you know who my father is? You really don't learn, do you? You keep digging that hole deeper. I'm sure the investigators will love this too.
Don't twist my words. I'm just trying to make things right. To fix this. To save my career.
Your career? That's all you care about? Not the people you've hurt? Not the lives you've affected? Not the trust you've betrayed?
I can change. Give me a chance. I'll prove it. I'll be a better person.
Too late for that. Way too late. Actions have consequences. Time to face yours.
You're destroying me. Over some text messages? This isn't fair. You're ruining everything.
No, you destroyed yourself. With every threat, every insult, every abuse of power. I'm just showing people who you really are.
You don't understand. This job is everything to me. My whole life. My identity.
Maybe that's the problem. Maybe you need to lose it all. To understand what you've done. To see how it feels. To be powerless. To be at someone else's mercy.
Please, just one more chance. I'm begging you.
Goodbye, Mr. Parker. Enjoy unemployment. And remember, every time you apply for a job, every time you face rejection, every time you feel powerless, remember how you treated others when you had the power.
Sarah, please!
In the end, investigations revealed that Parker had a history of contacting candidates and trying to force inappropriate relationships using company funds. He was reported to the police and obviously fired from the bank. Information was circulated throughout the banking industry to prevent him from ever working in the field again. The police involvement and permanent industry blacklisting led to him losing his career. He had to pay compensation to the bank and apologize to his previous victims. Sarah doesn't care what happened to him after that. Parker deeply regrets his actions now that he's hit rock bottom, but it's far too late. Apparently, he's enjoying his new life as a bottom feeder now.
All right, get to work. Get to work. I'll be watching you with hawk eyes this whole time, okay? I'm not in the mood to tell you that again, as your one job as the younger wife in this house is to get all the chores done, even while everyone else is here.
Get to work? But there's nothing left for me to do now. I've cleaned up all the dishes, and there isn't anything else to vacuum now. I've gone through all the house and wiped down all the tables, and have gone up to every window and sprayed them and cleaned them in order to let the most light through them. I went and swept the stairs for you, as well as cleaned the kitchen floor and took out all the trash.
Have you gotten around to doing the laundry and all of that?
I finished with the laundry a little while ago. You can even see that everything is all folded up and put into our rooms to be placed away later. And I made sure to change the sheets on the sofa as well. So at this point, there is really nothing left for me to clean or do for you. I can't even think of another thing I could work on that would make any sense at this point.
Are you sure that's how you want to end things? All of the family will be coming here really soon, and you have to make a name for yourself by making this place look spectacularly clean. If there is one thing that they spot and comment on, I am going to make sure you take responsibility for it. Will you be able to do that? It'll be a lot of pressure, and a lot of these people are much more strict than even I am.
Then can you go around and do a quick look over for me to see if there's anything I missed? That way, we can both be on the same page about the cleanliness here, and I won't have to be too worried anymore.
Huh? Does that mean you're not going to be able to take responsibility for yourself? That's what that sounds like to me. Do you not have the confidence where you need me to come around and check everything for you? That is not my job to be doing. You should be more than capable of cleaning and doing chores in this house without having someone like me come around and spot check all of your work.
All right. But this is how things always go with you, Dana. I ask you to check things for me first so that we can avoid conflicts later. But instead, you don't bother to help by doing that, so at some point you can complain about me. It's not that I'm saying you want me to mess up on purpose, but it sure does seem that way at times.
Then if you don't want me to complain about you anymore, do a better job at cleaning what I've asked you to clean. If you can do that for me, then you might actually end up being a good wife for my son.
Are you serious?
I'll have you know that I've been to over 100 different kinds of high-end hotels and have always made comments about the cleanliness of them. So if you can get me to not say a single word about your cleaning, then that means you're doing better than over 100 different hotels are. That should make you happy, right?
What? Over 100 different hotels? Complaining that much about all of their cleanliness just makes you look more like a stuck-up snob than anything else.
You're a real pain in my butt. I think I'm going to have to raise you again since your parents seem to have failed at that. Unlike women nowadays, back when I was first becoming my husband's wife, my mother-in-law pushed me so hard to make sure that I'd be perfect at everything. And now having to see this new generation of wives has left me shocked. I can't believe that all of you just want to sit around all day doing everything so sloppily around the home.
We aren't trying to sit around all day doing nothing, though. At least, I'm not trying to.
I know you all are. I've seen it with my own eyes, time and time again, especially you, Gia. So I'm going to break you down and rebuild you from the ground up, all right? So be ready. It will not be easy, and I'm going to be honest and say that you will cry even more now with me working on you than when you were a baby.
But listen, what's with you putting up that camera in the living room to watch over me all the time? That right there shows me that you're taking this way too far. You're trying to make it really hard for me to have any time to take a break and relax.
You have no right to be allowed a break time in this house. When you are here, you have to work every second of the day making sure this place is spotless and smells like nothing besides detergent. You will not stop working. I'll make sure of it, you useless woman.
Useless woman.
Gia, are you doing all right? I just realized that it looks like you've been working all day to clean. How about you take a moment to sit down and relax a little?
Angie. Thank you so much for asking about how I'm doing. But unfortunately for me, I'm not able to take any time off for a break. I was told that I'm a useless woman. And so if I stop doing the chores here, I'll be done for.
What are you talking about right now?
Well, there's a lot that's gone into it, so... But just be aware that for the time being, I can't take any breaks, as it would not end well for me. I'm happy to see that you've noticed me working a lot, but I'm afraid it's going to have to stay this way today.
Does this mean that Dana said something to you that's made you act like that? I know that woman well, and this all seems like something she'd do.
It was something she told me. She told me this is to help retrain me and that this was for my own good so that I can remain a part of this family.
I see. That woman sure is a thing for making sure everyone is the perfect wife for their husband. She's way too old, though, for her to not be embarrassed by the way she acts. Well, listen, Gia, you don't have to worry about a word that woman says to you, and you can take as many breaks as you'd like.
What? Are you sure about that? But...
You've already put in so much work getting all this cleaning done, so it'd be wrong of us to continue to make you work into the afternoon. I'd like you to take a seat with all of us and talk about yourself a little. After all, everyone's come here today to relax and chat.
All right. Thank you so much for checking up on me. It really helps me out a bunch.
By the way, have you brought any of what's been going on here up with Isaiah? Told him about how Dana's trying to work you way too hard? I'm sure he'd have something to say to his own mother, knowing what things she's done to you already.
Not yet. There hasn't been anything yet between her and I that would make me go to him about it yet. Also, Gail is in the middle of a couple projects for work, so he doesn't have time to focus on this. And I don't want to get him all worried about what's going on here with his mom when he needs to be there.
You say that, but I feel as though he seems really worried about you and what you've been up to under the influence of your mother-in-law. I'm sure he realizes that something's up with you, so I really believe that you should bring this all up with him for once.
Of course. You are correct about what my Dana has been doing to me today, and that she has gone a little overboard with it. I will plan on bringing things up with him, or at least doing something that will really get his attention then.
Oh, is that right? I guess I didn't think you'd be willing to try and get his attention after saying you didn't want to disturb him. Well, that makes me feel a little better. I think that you'll be able to do all right then.
I think so too. So please, don't worry too much about me, and trust that I'll be able to handle all of this in one way or another. Go ahead and get back to chatting with everyone else now.
Thank you. I think I will then, but I'll make sure to watch and see how things go for you. You! Where the hell have you gone? Hurry up right now and get back here to get more work done. Plates are beginning to pile up in the sink.
I'm sorry, but I'm at the hospital right now.
Huh? The hospital? You're not some kind of nurse, right? You're a housewife that needs to stay in the home. Why did you think it was important of you to go to the hospital at a time like this?
Even if I'm not a nurse or anything like that, when I'm not doing well, I have the right to go to a hospital, correct? So, let me explain what's happened. I happened to pass out a little after you hit me in the head with that bottle of vodka, and have to go to the hospital to get myself checked out. Are you happy to have your explanation now?
Huh? Why would there ever be a reason for you to be passing out after that? I barely even hit you. And I was only doing it so you could disinfect yourself with the alcohol, you dirty parasite.
Are you kidding? Take a look at the gosh dang sofa that I was sitting on, please. There's vodka all over it still, right? That's because you hit me so hard in the head with the bottle that it actually shattered.
And that's evidence of why it's not okay for you to be sitting on any sofa at all, right? You are a housewife and have work left to do, so there is no way I was going to allow you to slack off.
What is so bad about me taking a second to sit on the sofa? And it's not even like I was sitting down in the same room as all the rest of the people, right?
A wife like you has no right to even a millisecond of sitting time. I already told you all of this before, right? Another thing, why were you showing all of the guests today to that other room in the house? It's because of you showing them to the room all the way on the other side of the house that they've made my job harder by being so far away from the kitchen.
I just assumed since that other room had a much more relaxed vibe to it, it'd be easier on everyone and they wouldn't have to continue sitting on that old couch in the living room.
Well, you made work on yourself only grow even more by doing something like that, right? I've had enough of this, so get your butt back to the house. I need you back here working right now.
Why are you being so strict with your son's wife like this?
I'm doing all of this for your sake is why. Back when I was your age, I had the same thing happen between myself and my mother-in-law, who worked me very hard.
Are you talking about Angie?
That's right. I was given the most strict upbringing by her that any wife has ever had on this planet. And that's why I'm going to make you work as hard as I was forced to.
So this is what all that hard work was about? It's because of your own past that you decided to hit me outside the head with a bottle of vodka and make me pass out?
Oh, shut up. This all has to do with you being a frickin' brat and talking to me like you have any say. You are worse than any other wife, housewife I've known. Why did my sweet little boy have to end up marrying such a useless woman like you? Now you get your butt back to this house. I'm going to make you work as all wives are supposed to.
I told you, it's not going to happen now. I'm in the hospital at the moment to get my head taken care of. Also, why would I ever want to go back to some place where the person who assaulted me is at?
You think that I assaulted you just then? Oh, stop being so overdramatic. I had to make sure to reset your brain after you thought that it was a good idea to take a break while you were cleaning and catering to my family and friends. What the hell do you think you're doing going to a hospital after getting hit in the head with a simple tray? Well, now it's your turn, right? Huh? Hello, Dana. I had a good look at the moment you took that bottle and threw it at Gia's head a little bit ago. Oh, did you? But that's just the way I chose to handle things. I'm not going to listen to anything more from her about being such a victim to my way of treating her. So just understand that, please. All right, then. Well, I wasn't going to say anything about it anyway. Now, the next time we're all coming over will be in 2 weeks, right? I'll see you all again then. Wait, what are you doing? Why do you think you have to punch me now? You want to know why? Because you decided to sit down with the rest of us when you are the wife of this house. I'm the wife. But from my point of view, you are a younger wife than me in this house, therefore you don't get to have any time to take any breaks. You have to work all the time to clean the place up and serve everyone, right? And so far, you've only shown that you're a useless woman. So tell me why you thought it was a good idea to sit on the sofa like that? Oh, wait, that's because... Are you trying to tell me that punching you would be taking things too far? Oh, that's pretty bold of you to say that when just a couple of weeks ago you sent your daughter-in-law to the hospital after hitting her in the head with a bottle of vodka. Well, I didn't do that in front of everyone. I made sure to do that in a place where none of you guys could see it happen. And that's because you knew that if you did something as ridiculous as that in front of everyone else, they'd have some awful things to say about you, right? Well, that's right, right? After all, you did hit her in the head with a darn glass bottle. And you know that no matter what the reason you may have had for that, the rest of us would not forgive you for it. Right? You have no right to be saying things like this about me. And here we go again with that horrible attitude of yours. You really have me thinking once again about your actions. It's like you're back to that same old toxic woman from back in the day. Oh, shut up. You were the one who treated me like crap when you started to train me to be a good wife. You wanted to make sure that a young wife like me back then would be perfect. That's why you treated me so poorly at the house. I'm not going to let you say you forgot about all of that. So, you're trying to say that the reason you're treating Gia so poorly is because that's the way you were treated by your mother-in-law back in the day. That's exactly right. That's a fact. Well, I don't ever remember treating you in any way that was unfair or unjustified back then. I only happened to tell you that you were making mistakes and that you were wrong from a mother's perspective. Nope, you absolutely did not do that. You tried to abuse me back then in order to do everything you'd ask of me. It's probably because of all that stress you had that you'd pick fights with me and bully me. Well, you would go out and spend the family credit card on things that were only meant for yourself and without anyone's permission. And you'd use your husband's company's money to take yourself to all kinds of high-end hotels for weekends, right? You were one of the worst wives ever back then. That has nothing to do with what's going on right now. I think it has every bit of a connection to what's been going on here. You happened to go against everything the family asked you to stop doing back then. What you were doing was laced with problems, and it had to stop. That's the reason for everything that's happened after, right? Have you still not come around to accepting that yet? Oh, you're so annoying. I was still young back then, so stop trying to put all the blame on me for what happened back then. And Gia's the same age now, just about, that you were back when all that was going on, right? I can't do this anymore. I told you to shut up because you're being so annoying right now. An old witch like you needs to shut the hell up already. Jesus Christ. You've fallen right back to where you started. You don't think that you can get away with things now just because you've become friends with that old witch. I promise you I'll destroy that old witch if that's what you really want to see. And then I'll have you trapped with nowhere left to run.
Destroy her?
I meant exactly what I said there. Do you know that she hit me in the head with a tray as well now? And she did that in front of all the family and friends that were gathered here. So I will take her to court and sue her butt.
What? But Dana, you did the exact same thing to me a little while back, right? Do you think it's okay that you're the only one allowed to do things like that?
I was doing it as a way to get you to stop messing around. But that old witch only did it as a way of picking on me in front of everyone.
Your way of getting me to stop? I'm sorry, but that's not the way I saw it when you hit me so hard you lacerated my head. So, if you really are going to be suing Angie over this, then I'm going to sue you for hitting me in the head.
Excuse me, what the hell are you talking about?
Hold on, you have been talking about this the whole time, right?
Well, listen, miss, do you even have evidence of me hitting you in the head with any bottle of vodka?
Are you kidding me?
I never hit you in the head with anything, not even a bottle of anything. Angie may be saying that she saw something like that happen, but in her old age, I'm sure her eyes are not 20/20, right?
I can't believe this. It's like you're not even human anymore. That's how screwed up your head is. Not only are you just an awful mother-in-law, but at this point, I think you're better off being locked up in some asylum for the way you're behaving.
Oh, are you trying to make fun of me now? I'll take you to court as well over something like that.
I'm sure you may have forgotten this, but the room you hit me in the head with that bottle of vodka in happens to be the same room you installed that camera in to watch me. So, that night when I came back to the house, I went and saved all the recording on that camera to my phone. And so, the evidence of you hitting me really hard over the head with that dinner tray, and all the blood that came out of me and me passing out after, is saved on my phone.
So that's why you had all those people at the time moved over to the other room to relax for a bit?
That's right. I was thinking it'd be the best place to do it since you probably wanted to keep all your actions a secret from everyone else. However, I never thought you'd end up assaulting me in any way when I chose to take a small break on the sofa.
Then what about the place that Angie ended up hitting me in the head at?
You had that happen to you back in that other room, where there is no camera installed at. Dana, you keep talking about how someone like Angie hit you in the head the same way as you hit me. But are you sure something like that really took place?
This! You'd better stop messing around. Oh, well, it's all going to be okay. There may be no video evidence, but there were a ton of other bystanders in the room at the time that witnessed what happened to me. I'll ask them all to come and help me, and then I'll have the two of you ruined for the rest of your lives.
And I hope that all goes well for you.
Hey, you. What the hell have you said to Gail about this? Also, when it comes to my husband, did you say something to him as well?
What do you think I said to them?
I'm not here to play games with your stupid butt anymore. I was told by my son just a little bit ago that he wants to cut ties to me forever.
Well, that just happens to be because someone like him does not like the fact that you treated his wife horribly, and even hit her in the head with a bottle of vodka, sending her to the hospital, right? You can relax now because I didn't do or say anything to him that would make him want this.
Oh, stop it with all your bullcrap. Then tell me about my husband then. My husband is asking to get a divorce from me now after what you've done.
And I'd like to think it's for the same reason as Isaiah had. I believe that your husband was on his last leg with you, and what you did to me was the last straw and made him want to jump ship. Dana, I understand that you were going to look for people to back you up over this, but it seems everyone just wants to cut ties with you. Well, that's only natural of all of them. You've been a total jackass this whole time.
What? No matter what you say, this is all your fault. I was just trying to fix you because you are a terrible wife and woman, yet now everyone is trying to leave me. Oh, why me? The only terrible wife in this family is you, Dana. What do you want from me, you old witch? Look at that. The moment people start to do and say things you don't like, you begin to call them bad names like old witch. You are the one that did many things wrong and are being punished for them, but are too self-centered to even take a moment to reflect on that. I can't believe it, though. You haven't changed one bit from the monster you were in the past. I am speechless. You are always trying to act like you're better than everyone else. Do you think you're the perfect woman? Sure, I'm not perfect, but I sure am better than you. I happen to not be the one with fingers pointed at her for picking on and assaulting her daughter-in-law. Shut up! You've heard about how my son will be divorcing you now, right? In other words, that means you and I will never have to talk to one another ever again. Thank you for what little you offered. Goodbye forever now. What is this? You came all the way out contacting me just to say something as BS as that? If anything, you're the one with a far worse heart than me. Right. After all, I was so bad that you had to start calling me an old witch again. Well, I hate being called something like that, and that's why I am really pissed off with you now. And that's the reason why I will not make things easy for you, and I will make sure that when all is said and done, you will no longer be able to touch my family ever again, and will go rot in hell with the rest of this evil world. Ugh! I've had enough with all of you messing around with me. So with that, goodbye forever.
Dana, can you please stop walking all over outside my house like that? We have all cut ties to you already, so you need to give up and go away.
Why, Gia? Why did you never tell me you were the one paying for the whole family the whole time? And why do you get to have that house now? That house is the place I had been living in for the past 30 years. I'm asking you to please forgive me. Please, just let me back into your lives.
As for me paying for a lot of the things this family had been living on, that is true. But you would have never listened to me anyway about it and just assumed that I was lying the whole entire time. So I went ahead and told your husband about it, my father-in-law, and said that if he didn't do something about you, I'd stop paying for him as well. As for the house, that was not the choice I ended up making, Dana. You were the one that lost your husband after he divorced you, and so there's nothing I can do to help get things back to the way they were. Just go back to your parents' house or something to live the rest of your life.
I don't want to, though. I want to be back living in that house with you. I will apologize for everything I did to you, so please forgive me. I am asking you to please help me.
It's not going to happen now. And there's nothing I can do to help you after all the trouble you started. Now, if you are going to continue standing outside our house all day causing us trouble, I'm going to have to call the police and have them take you away.
No. Please don't call the police on me now. I won't do anything to you guys, all right? Okay? I'll go away soon.
Wait. Dana, have you done something bad that might get the police to take interest in you?
No, I haven't done anything wrong. I just don't want to have to deal with the police right now. They scare me. That's why.
Well, I understand there being people that get nervous when they see the police as just a natural thing, but... Dana, if you've done something wrong that they might be after you for, you should just turn yourself in and confess to it.
I told you I haven't done anything wrong, though. So you don't have to worry about me. So with that being said, let me ask you this. Do you think you'll ever be able to forgive me?
Asking me to forgive you? Well, based on what the rest of the family is saying about you, I'd rather not have anything to do with you anymore. So please just understand that and go.
But what if I do seriously change my ways this time and make sure to treat you very well?
The problem is, no matter how many times you try and change yourself to get us to take you back, you'll just start being a complete witch again. After all, you complained to over 100 different high-end hotels about their service and cleanliness. So I'm sure you'll never stop complaining, right? Lol. After the situation with my mother-in-law, Dana, spiraled out of control, I knew I had to take drastic steps to ensure my peace of mind. I had no other choice but to block her phone number, and once I did that, I didn't hear a single thing from her. The silence was a relief, but it didn't last long. Dana, in her usual fashion, continued to show up at our house unannounced, trying to keep tabs on us and what we were doing. It became clear that she wasn't respecting our boundaries, and I had had enough. I couldn't tolerate her intrusions any longer, so in a moment of frustration and finality, I called the police on her. I remember feeling a mix of anger and relief when they showed up. The police took her seriously and warned her about trespassing. And from that day forward, I never had to see her lurking around our house again. It felt like a huge weight had been lifted off my shoulders. But still, a lingering unease remained. I couldn't shake the feeling that there was something deeper going on with her. Something that went beyond just being irritating and overbearing. Maybe she was involved in something shady. Or perhaps her actions were driven by something more serious. My worries lingered as I sat in front of the television one evening, mindlessly flipping through channels. Then, a news story caught my attention. The reporter was talking about a recent arrest that had made headlines in our town. And as the story unfolded, my heart sank. It was Dana, She had been arrested by the police. The reason for her arrest was the last thing I expected. Apparently, Dana had been involved in purse snatching, going around town and swiping items from people's purses. The police had discovered that she was selling the stolen goods to pawn shops in exchange for quick cash. I couldn't believe it. Dana, who I had once tried to care for and include in my life, had resorted to such low and dishonest behavior. I had always known she had her flaws, but this was a new low. But that wasn't all. As if her criminal activities weren't enough, it turned out Dana was also driving around with an expired driver's license. This only added fuel to the fire. And her actions made everything worse. How could someone who had been in my life act so recklessly and carelessly? It was hard to comprehend how things had spiraled so far out of control for her. At that moment, I couldn't help but feel a strange sense of satisfaction mixed with disbelief. I couldn't deny that a part of me found it almost poetic that she was caught and arrested. After all, she had caused me so much grief and stress over the years, and now the universe had found a way to deal with her. I wasn't the one who had to confront her anymore. She was facing the consequences of her own actions. Once Dana was taken to court, the repercussions were swift. She was ordered to pay a hefty settlement to the victims of her purse-snatching spree. They had to be compensated for the emotional and financial damage her actions had caused. Additionally, Dana was slapped with a fine for driving with an expired license. Her life seemed to be falling apart before her eyes. And I couldn't help but think it was well-deserved. Dana had always been someone who felt entitled, who expected others to take care of her. Now, she was facing the harsh reality of having lost everything. Her freedom, her reputation, and her money. It seemed like her downward spiral had no end in sight. She had nowhere to go, no one left to turn to, so she made the decision to leave town. She returned to her hometown, hoping to find refuge with her older sister. I had hoped, maybe naively, that this might be the turning point for Dana. Maybe, just maybe, she would use this time away from us to reflect on her actions and start over. Perhaps her sister and her family would be the support system she needed to get her life back on track. But, as it turned out, my hopes were misplaced. Just a month after moving in with her sister, things had taken a turn for the worse. Dana, unable to resist her old habits, began to steal from her sister. She started pawning her sister's belongings, taking advantage of her kindness and hospitality. When her sister caught on, she was furious. She confronted Dana, but it only escalated the situation. Her sister's husband, understandably upset, intervened and forced Dana out of the house. Dana, ever the manipulator, tried to plead with them, begging to come back in. She even stood outside their house in nothing but a bathrobe, desperate and humiliated. But her sister and her husband were no fools. They knew better than to let Dana back in after everything she had done. They knew that she would just continue to take advantage of them, just as she had done with everyone else. This time, they did the right thing. They called the police again. When Dana was taken into custody, it was clear that she was in denial about the consequences of her actions. This time, however, the law didn't go easy on her. The court wasn't as lenient as before, and Dana was sentenced to 6 months in jail for theft. The sentence hit her hard. I'm sure it was a shock to her system, but it was also long overdue. Dana had spent so much of her life skating by on other people's generosity, never facing any real consequences for her actions. Now, the reality of her situation was sinking in, and it caused her to break down completely. I couldn't help but feel a mix of emotions as I watched everything unfold from a distance. Part of me felt pity for her, but another part of me couldn't ignore the fact that she had brought this upon herself. I wondered if this second stint in jail would finally be the wake-up call Dana needed. Would it be enough to make her change her ways, to help her understand the damage she had caused? Or would she continue down this destructive path until it was too late? As much as I had hoped for Dana to turn her life around, I couldn't let her affect my family anymore. Since the day Dana was kicked out of our house, my life had become so much more peaceful. I felt like I could finally breathe again. My husband and my father-in-law had been a great support system, and together we had created a safe, stable environment. I had taken on the role of housewife, and for the first time in a long time, I was enjoying the calmness of my everyday life. One person who had really helped me through the worst of the situation was Angie. She had always been there for me, standing by my side when things with Dana became unbearable. I will always be grateful for her strength and loyalty. After everything that had happened, I wanted to thank her in some way. So I continued to invite her over to visit, along with the rest of the family and friends. However, this time, things were different. I didn't feel the need to work myself into exhaustion. Instead, I made it a point to sit back and relax, enjoying the company of those around me. It was a relief not to be constantly on edge, wondering when Dana would show up again or what new trouble she would cause. Now, I could simply enjoy life for what it was, a simple, peaceful existence that I had worked hard to create. And while I didn't expect Dana to change overnight, I couldn't help but hope that she would eventually find the strength to turn her life around. I knew, however, that it would take more than just time to heal. She would have to confront the reality of her actions. The damage she had caused and the relationships she had ruined. Only then would she truly be able to move forward. For now, all I could do was focus on my own family and the life we were building together, one step at a time. In the months that followed Dana's second arrest and her time in jail, things began to settle down further. There were moments when I found myself reflecting on everything that had happened, trying to make sense of it all. How did it all spiral so quickly? How did the woman I once tried to build a relationship with end up in such a mess? I couldn't help but ask myself those questions over and over again. But in the end, I realized that Dana had made her own choices. Every step she took toward her downfall had been hers and hers alone. At first, it felt like a betrayal. To see someone I had tried to care for, to support, turn against me and others. She'd manipulated me, made me feel guilty for things that weren't my fault, and caused so much emotional and financial distress. It was exhausting, but over time, I came to understand that it wasn't really about me. It wasn't about her wanting to hurt me. It was more about her own deep-rooted issues and the choices she made in trying to escape from her problems, no matter the cost. I had been a target, but I wasn't the cause. It was her inability to face her own demons that led her to lash out in harmful ways. Despite all the pain she caused, I couldn't completely turn off the part of me that still hoped for her redemption. I wondered if, with enough time and enough consequences, Dana could find her way back. I wasn't blind to the fact that people could change. But it had to be done on their own terms. Nobody could force her to face the truth, least of all me. It was something she had to come to realize on her own. In the meantime, I focused on my family, the people who had never abandoned me and had been supportive through the entire ordeal. My husband and father-in-law, despite all the stress that Dana had put us through, remained constant and calm. We had built a solid foundation together, and as a family, we were stronger than we had ever been. There were no more secrets, no more fears of what Dana might do next, and that sense of stability was a relief. It also gave me a chance to reflect on my own life. Becoming a housewife had given me a sense of peace that I never thought I would have again. I had always been someone who sought stability, someone who wanted to feel secure and at home. Dana had disrupted that for so long that it almost felt foreign to me to have it back. There were days when I found myself waking up and feeling a sense of calm wash over me, realizing I wasn't constantly worried about her or the chaos she would bring. Angie remained one of the most important people in my life. The way she had supported me when Dana's presence was unbearable showed me just how strong our bond was. I often thought about how lucky I was to have a friend like her, someone who would drop everything to help me when I needed it most. It wasn't just about Dana, though. Angie had always been there for me, long before any of this happened, and our friendship had only deepened over the years. I realized how important it was to surround myself with people who genuinely cared about me, who would help me navigate the challenges that life threw my way.